Good day. Got a little project here. Going to try to repair our pop-up canopy framework. Had the son call the other day and ask if he could borrow it. And I said, sure, it's in the shop. Go ahead and grab it. And about 10 minutes later, he texted me back saying, I owe you a new pop-up canopy. So I'm not sure what he did or what happened, but a couple of the supports or the trusses broke in half on them. I was just going to throw it away. They're not really that expensive. You can probably get them for under $100. But he wanted me to try to fix it, and I told him I'd give it a try. So let's go ahead and start. So he actually broke two of the trusses on it. Like I said, I'm not sure how that happened, but he snapped two of them. Pretty clean breaks on both of them. And I decided I'm going to go ahead and sleeve a material inside the tube versus trying to scab something on the outside of it. A couple different options. You could go with an aluminum tube. All I had was 1/2 inch, and if you pound it down, you can form it to the same profile as the truss itself, but 1/2 inch is a little too small. I think 3/4 would work perfect because it's just about 1/4 inch too small once you get it pounded down. So aluminum isn't as easy to find as maybe copper. I think copper would probably be the way to go. So a piece of 3/4 inch copper I think would work fine. Didn't have any of that. I did have some aluminum angle, and it's pretty stout. It's 3/16 thick. It was actually an 1.5 by 1.5 L angle. I ripped it on my table saw to 3/4. But you can buy this material at Home Depot. You could buy it on Amazon if you want. It doesn't need to be 3/16. I think you could probably find some backing material that's 1/8 inch steel or aluminum in like the door hardware department, or just go into the hardware aisle and you'll find their little 3 and 4 foot lengths of steel and aluminum. I could use either one. I like aluminum, a little easier to drill, a little easier to cut. So that's what I'm going to go with. So we'll prep it up and try to connect this all back together. And as far as my fastener goes, I'm going to go ahead and go with a pop rivet. No, it's not real common, but I like them for this type of application. I think it'll work pretty decent. Get one here to see if I can get it to come apart. So it's just a light gauge metal shaft that the rivet goes onto. You have to have a pop rivet gun, of course. Got different sizes for different types of pop rivets. Slide that in there, and as you compress it, it draws that bulb into the soft rivet, and it compresses it. And that breaks the shaft off. And you end up with a rivet like that that's compressed into your metal. It won't look like that on the metal because the bulb will stay on the side that you're trying to pop rivet. And you just want to make sure you have a hole drilled the right size. So I did a little sample. I'll drill a couple little holes. First hole, it looks fine. It's a little bit loose. Went with a little smaller drill bit, and that one's nice and snug. So when you do that one, say I go ahead and want to it just compresses around it. You have to take another draw and get another bite, and that shaft breaks off. The rivet has compressed that soft metal, or the shaft has compressed the soft metal of the rivet, and that's what you see on the outside, and that'll be inside the tube and you won't see it. And those are surprisingly strong, really strong. That's one of the advantages of using a pop rivet is they're really a strong rivet. That's one of the disadvantages, is because they're really strong and you can't remove them. Or not easily. You can take a drill bit, drill this portion of the rivet out, and then this backside will pop out. But it's not like being able to use a Phillips screwdriver and back that out. So, but for this application, that's what I'm going to go with, and we'll see what it looks like. So I've got two 10-inch lengths of my 3/4 by 3/16 aluminum. Put a mark halfway at 5 inches. I'm going to go ahead and put a rivet at 1 inch and 4 inch. So as I sleeve that in there, I'll mark those 2 holes. I'll go ahead and drill these out. So I don't want to drill all the way through that because I'll probably dimple and screw the back side up on that. Just clean the hole out a little bit. File any burrs off of it. And they should line up. We'll see. And that's about it. I can see on the inside there that's come through and compressed like it should. Didn't really mar the back side. We'll do the other side and put this back together. a different one. That one looks a little weird. Pretty solid. Just to make it look pretty, got some old touch-up paint from a bedroom we painted. Took a little dab of white paint. Make it look a little better. And touch up the exposed so maybe it doesn't rust as much. And I think we're good. Put her back together and call that a win. Repeat the process on the second one. Well, screwed it back together and it went together fine. I like the look of it. I like not having the exposed anchors. I was thinking a little bit I would have spun those tubes around, put the pop rivets on the other side, but I think it looks all right. So thanks for hanging out. Hope that helped you. Hopefully we'll save a couple canopies from being thrown in the dump. I will see you on the next one.